Hey, my super beautiful, lovely, gorgeous souls. It's Lizzie the Lightworker here, bringing you guys a reading for Capricorn and Gemini, divine twin flame union separation. And 90% of my videos are revolving around twin flame separation. It's sort of a big thing and big topic, and a lot of you are suffering. So if you are finding this video, I hope that these messages will be helpful. Make sure you stick around till the end so you can get all the messages. And don't forget to like. We're going to get right into this. So these are now genderless. I don't do them, like divine female, divine male, Gemini, this, that. I feel like it's just as accurate. It's just that I know a lot of you were saying that the energies read in reverse. So we're doing it this way now. So in separation, let's get out Capricorn. Let's get some energies out for Capricorn. Okay, so, oh wow. Capricorn, I feel like is feeling like super defensive. I feel like they almost feel like this was so much work that they're like battle stricken now. They feel like they're waiting for like another fight or like the next thing to unfold. I feel like there might have been so much of that Capricorn decided to turn their back on it, turn their back on the connection, the relationship. I feel like they felt like they had to kind of save themselves, because if they didn't, they were going to go completely crazy. To me, there's a little bit of like this paranoid feeling. So I don't know if there was something that was making Capricorn feel like this paranoid feeling or like this dreadful feeling all along, or if it started to come towards the end leading up to separation. But they definitely have left behind lots and lots and lots of emotion. I feel like they've detached from this situation, and they're sort of looking for new clarity. They're kind of like trying to figure this whole thing out. Like, what was the reason? What was the cause? Why did this all happen? They're kind of trying to figure it out. They're looking for the truth and they're looking for clarity. And they're very sharp. I mean, they're not like, you can't put nothing past them. And if you try to, they're not even gonna, I feel like Capricorn's like, if you try to like F me over, I'm just gonna take my energy elsewhere. So I feel like they're very protective of their energy too, which is a really, really good sign. But yeah, there's a little bit of this, like, I feel like I've been scorned, I've been hurt, like I've been like screwed over, like, feeling. So yeah, they're looking for new clarities, new information possibly might be coming in too. They may be uncovering something, or they may have uncovered something that was the reason what caused the separation about their divine Gemini. Or it could just be that, they maybe had some suspicions, and the suspicions they found out were true, or they still have these suspicions and they're trying now to figure out if the suspicions are true. That's what I feel is going on with this. So let's talk about Gemini. So, we're getting a Queen of Wands energy. So Gemini might be in the divine female. Doesn't have to be, but it can be. Don't forget, guys, it could resonate many ways. However, whatever message you hear here feels right, it's meant for you, okay? So don't worry about anything that doesn't feel right. Six of Pentacles we're getting, and one more card. Okay, and the Four of Wands. So I feel like, I don't know, like I'm saying, I feel like Gemini could be in that Queen of Wands energy where they're like kind of, assertive and creative and a little bit domineering and fiery and all those things. But I don't know if there was another woman that sort of, came between the two of these people. I feel like Gemini feels like they gave a lot. They feel like they gave a lot to this relationship. They feel like they were doing all the giving. I don't know if that's like an entitlement thing or like a thing where they want this like praise that they did everything. They think they did everything. Four of Wands. So, okay. I feel like Gemini does want to have like a happy union and like have the happy kind of family and the traditional lifestyle. But I don't know what this is where they feel like maybe they're the only one who gives and they sacrifice and they have a lot to give. I feel like they put a lot of attention into this, but now I feel like they're putting the attention sort of on their self, where they need to, in separation, feel like, you know, they're making progress towards something bigger. To me, this is like you want to have a house someday with a family. So it could also be there's a reuniting. I also feel like Gemini is working on stability. They're working on their structures and their stability. They're working on building up, building on something. So yeah, I mean, I feel like the fiery energy could be where Gemini's at, like where they have this drive to get things done and this drive to go after what they want. Okay. So let's get some cards down the middle. Okay, so yeah, to me this was, I don't know, not really toxic, but it sort of needed to go their separate ways. These two sort of needed to go their separate ways. Okay, I feel like there could have been some harsh judgments on each other. There could have been like, I do it this way, you do it that way. Well, my way's right, your way's wrong. There could have been a little bit of that. I feel like this is a call to look at yourselves, like look at what happened leading up to this separation. Anything nasty or painful that came out towards the end is like the wake up call thing, like pay attention to that because it's super important. I feel like these two need to, I feel like they need to stay away from each other right now. So don't go looking for each other just yet, because I feel like this is a very serious sort of like, when we're getting a judgment card, that's like the Gabriel, the archangel, has spoken. There was something about communication. Maybe you didn't communicate well and there was problems with communication that led up to sort of like a disaster, or like sort of like a break in the tie, or like no contact right now. Something very, very important led up to that. Okay, Gabriel has spoken. Yeah, I feel like this is sort of like, I feel like you were supposed to, both you guys were supposed to change your views about love and relationships. And I feel like you're both very chained to what your ideals about relationships are. I also feel like one of you is chained to this twin flame thing, like holding on too much to this. Oh, my twin flame, my twin flame, my twin flame, my twin flame. It's like, I feel like there's a little bit of like a chaining, if that makes any sense, like being like restricted by it. Almost like you feel like you can never be happy again without this person. That's completely untrue. But yeah, to me, this is sort of like sacrificing some things too. So there could have needed to be some sacrifices that were made on both your parts to make this last, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I feel like there will be a peace offering. I feel like there's like a good energy for like stability and like getting you guys shit together and like wanting to be together and be like a power couple. Capricorn is very, very practical, very, very grounded. They're concerned with the future, money for the future, my stability for the future. Gemini, I feel like Capricorn may have sort of put Gemini into this energy now where they want to do that too. So they might be working on that. You know, because they know that that's the Capricorn's grounded desire. They want that too. Yeah, there's a lot of immature energy here though, guys. Pages are immature energy to me. So this is like, I feel like you both need to grow up a little bit in terms of maybe the way you argue, like almost like two kids fighting over a toy. I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm sorry, I'm just channeling in from spirit. Spirit wants that said. Okay, so there's like this little bit of this brattiness, like that's mine. No, it's not. I'll beat you over the head for it. There's like this little bit of this sort of rigidness and edginess, and I need to be right and you're wrong. So I feel like spirit wants that to be worked out. Okay, and that could be part of the reason why this went into separation. They're very opposing energies right now that led up to this separation. Your energies were actually not working together. They were opposing each other because these things needed to be dealt with. So I feel like you just mirrored to each other what needs to be fixed, what needs to be done to sort of reunite with each other. I think it's very possible. It doesn't look bad. It's just like sort of growing up a little bit and sort of like figuring out, I mean, maybe like, this is like a younger relationship, and we're not talking terms of marriage. This could be like you're in your 20s or 30s and somebody else is thinking they're in their 50s. They want this and they want it more now. So there could also be age differences, okay? But I do feel like there's immaturity in terms of like a relationship. Like, in other words, it needed to grow more too. But in order for it to do that, you guys have to both separate, if that makes any sense. Yeah, look, the Knight of Cups is always like a very loving, very, very romantic. And I do also see it sometimes as an opportunity for new love. So I do feel like this will come back together. I feel like the two of you just have to kind of work the kinks out, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to get some... I want to get some energy. I'm going to do a divine feminine message. And this is my deck. Sort of like a twin flames, what's dark in separation, like the darkness in separation, like the things that need to be healed or exposed. That's where I got the inspiration for these two decks, Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. And I'll get some cards out for each. Let's go here. Okay, so some Divine Feminine messages. I'm just going to move these up because it has nothing to do with the sides, okay? So I'm just pulling them out the way that I feel they need to come out. So telepathy. Divine Feminine energy, I feel like, has this gift a little bit more, but you're both sharing it. And I don't mean has it a little bit more. I mean has maybe developed it a little bit more. Whether you realize it or not, your thoughts are very, very powerful. So I feel like with Divine Feminine energy, whatever you're thinking about your divine male, you're sending that energy, good or bad, okay? Divine Feminine's feeling incomplete, absolutely. She's feeling like there might be even like holes in this. Holes in the stories or gaps or... you know, just this feeling of like this barrenness that now her twin has gone. It could also be that on the Divine Feminine side, these are some things that she may need to deal with outside of her twin. She could have felt this incomplete feeling before her twin even came along. And outside the box. Okay, so Spirit wants you to know that this ain't your typical relationship. Obviously, it's twin flame union. It's the most divine union there could be. Spirit wants you to know that the way you used to think is simply not going to do anymore. I feel like there's a comparison going on with the Divine Feminine. Like you're trying to compare this to other relationships or trying to compare the feelings. There's no comparison. And also that you may have to resist being the way you were in every other relationship. This is different, okay? Spirit wants you to know that what you did in the past is not going to work. What you fell in love with in the past is not going to work. I mean other relationships or other lovers. And for this situation, in order to be really, really good so you can reunite with your twin, I feel like you're going to have to go, like it says, outside the box. You can't think of things or be the way you used to be with this. I feel like this is major changes for you. I feel like sort of like your mind has been blown open now. So let's get some messages for Divine Masculine. So time constraints. I mean, Capricorn, you might... I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say Capricorn. Either of you, but more the Divine Masculine, okay, has time constraints, meaning that they may feel like they are not getting done as fast as they can or going as fast as they can. Like they're in the race. They need to win faster. So there could be some issues with that. As opposed to like your job and saving money and wanting everything kind of yesterday. So you're putting timelines on things, okay? And also don't put timelines on this whole twin flame union or separation because you're going to drive yourself nuts. And there's distractions, okay? So you may be trying to distract yourself with other things like books, video games, people, going out, partying, doing stuff, working, whatever it is. you're trying to distract yourself. And it could also be that distractions may have caused part of the separation between you and your twin. Other things that you felt like were more important and you placed as a priority over the twin flame union that maybe could have had a little bit to do with this separation. And possessive. Okay, so there could be a little bit of that with you just in general. You could feel like, you know, if you got married, my wife's my wife, my husband's my husband. Okay, so that's a little bit of a negative emotion. So Spirit wants you to work on that a little bit. And I'm sorry, guys, this is not what you want to hear. Spirit talks and I just deliver the messages. But yeah, a little bit of possessiveness. It could also be that you're possessive over your belongings and over your things and the things that you feel like you've worked very, very hard for. But yeah, that possessiveness is like, especially guys, I mean, it could kind of come out in twin flame union where you're like, it makes you feel a little crazy, like you've never felt this way before about somebody, so you want to possess them in a way, but not like the healthiest emotion. So I'm just going to get a card to wrap up. Yeah, control. Okay, so both of you or one of you may have some control issues. Okay. It could also be that this is an indicator to control emotions, control feelings, control things that you can. Worry about what you can control, not what you cannot control. You cannot control the fact that you're in separation right now. So Spirit wants you to know that. Worry about only what you can control. You can control certain things on your spiritual journey and in this destiny. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Love and light. Don't forget to check the description box. I will leave a link for a twin flame support group I started on Facebook if you're interested, and also my private reading information. And I will see you guys in the next reading. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This has been Lizzie the Lightworker.